Howdy, it's VDK here, and today on Untapped we are talking about one of two of my new favorite commanders, Henry Wu, InGen Geneticist. He's a simple man. He is a human scientist, green or black, green, blue, human scientist, one floor. So your orcish bowmasters can't take him out, which is important. I'll explain why. He reads humans and him himself have exploit. Whenever a creature exploits or enters the battle with exploit enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice a creature. That's not important. Well, it is, but here's the second part that's what makes it really important. Whenever a creature you control exploits, a non-human creature draw a card. If that creature had 3 or more power, create a treasure token. So, what that means is in a lot of cases, especially for how cheap he is, he gives all of the utility humans in cEDH flash, or not flash, or a lot of the cEDH utility humans have flash. And what that means is typically what you're going to see in terms of combo lines is that like your stuff like Protein Hulk gets you the full combo for the, I believe, the both Bomberman combo and Thassa's combo. So it goes. One example would be Caster Commander or a human after Protein Hulk is resolved. Search up Laboratory Maniac or Laboratory Maniac Spellseeker, get Demonic Consultation, play Demonic Consultation, and then you stack the triggers in this way. So before the draw trigger happens, you get the you get the exploit trigger, so that'll trigger the draw on the stack. You get the treasure first, I believe, if I remember correctly. Get the treasure. After getting the Demonic Consultation, crack the treasure, cast Demonic Consultation, then I believe you draw the card. And because you can't draw any more cards in your library, you win the game. Or you go Thassa's Oracle, Spellseeker, and then Drowned Rusalka, which does the same exact thing. However, you can crack the Drowned Rusalka, or like you can get the Drowned Rusalka and have the order trigger in that. Like the Drowned Rusalka will also draw you a card, but Thassa's Oracle will also just win you the game off of that. But these are just like different lines you can do. So he's really good for that. He's also really good as a food chain commander because all of the food chain creatures in these colors all generate you infinite treasure. So he filters the mana that you would be netting off of food chain and turning it into treasures and draw, which is really fantastic. Especially since he's a 3-drop as opposed to the usual food chain commander being 4 or 5. Now the question is, and in my difficulties of building him have been, how do I turn this more consistent? He's really good with playing humans and like having them. If they ever make a human that can be played from exile, it's over. Like for real. But the major issue I keep running into is he's just a little bit too slow for cEDH, but not by a lot. And maybe that's just me as a pilot being more like mid-rangey focused in terms of like trying to not necessarily have a game, but play smart and play disciplined Magic, because a lot of cEDH players don't play that. I learned that from the tournament I went to on the weekend, which we'll talk about more later. And so ultimately what I learned from all of this is that like you have to be really careful about how you build, because while something can just be strong, you have to be really mindful of how you are building it, because he's definitely a build around, but he's a very strong build around in terms of like the stuff you can pull off. He has a turn 0 combo with Protein Hulk, which you haven't seen since the likes of Flash, and I don't need to tell y'all how strong Flash was as the resident Flash Hulk player, and then when that got banned, just moved over to Food Chain because it was the next easiest thing. But ultimately, what's gonna probably come out of this, as I build him more and more, or tweak him extensively, is just the focus of like trying to figure out point A, point B, because that's how I play. It's like, okay, how do I make it to where I can get from not winning to winning? Not winning in this case being turn 0, so like start of the game, win. How do I get from point A to point B the most consistently and cleanly? Because while I love cEDH, I don't love the fact that pretty much everyone's not winning cleanly, and I'm trying to be more disciplined about how I win with my decks. So expect to see, if we ever start really playing games on this channel, expect to see a lot of this face and a lot of this face. I'm going to talk about him next time on Untapped. This has been VDK. Have a nice night, y'all.